My brother has been lying about my life to my conservative, estranged parents, made fake Instagram, help. Okay, I'll try to make this quick, but there's a lot and I'm freaking the fuck out. I grew up a Jehovah's Witness. If you don't know, JW are extremely conservative to an insane degree. I wasn't allowed to read Harry Potter, if that makes sense. And my parents were not lax or exceptions for my children type. Extremely devout people. And I'm gay. When I 25M was 16, I was outed horribly by my sister, who found some gay porn that I didn't delete from my computer history. My family, of course, flipped out and demanded I either seek conversion therapy or get out. Luckily for me, my aunt had also defected from the church, so I was able to move in with her, far away. My parents and sister immediately wanted nothing to do with me. But my brother 15M was 6. He was too young to really grasp what was going on, and had no phone or social media or anything, so I couldn't contact him. I honestly just assumed he drank the same Endisnai Kool-Aid and never sought him out. Earlier this year, I got a message from him on Facebook. It was a gigantic apology for not saying goodbye properly, and that he really wanted me back in his life. Clicking through his profile, I didn't see any JW proselytizing like my sister's, just pics of him and his friends being normal teens. I was beyond happy. I messaged him back, we FaceTimed, cried, he caught me up a little in his life and I caught him up a little in mine. And from there we started texting regularly. I am very, very happy about all this. But he was still living under my parents' roof, and was still heavy in JW culture. I was nervous about this. He always reaffirmed that he only called/texted when he wasn't in the house, or around other JW, and reaffirmed that he thought the church was awful. Last week something weird happened. I got an email from my mother. It was a picture from a recent Dells trip she had taken with my family and another JW family. Years of no contact, then this. What the fuck? I spent days talking this out with my friends before it occurred to me that my brother might have something to do with this. I brought up the email to my brother when I called him yesterday, barely hinting at my suspicions at all, and he unloaded. He had been lying to my parents. He said that I contacted him apologizing and was desperate to get back in contact with the witnesses again, but was too ashamed. But the kicker is he made a fake Instagram to show them. He plucked all the G-rated pictures from my various social medias and filled it in with captions about how devout I am, how happy I am to have refound God's light, etc. He had taken pictures of me and my best friend, Julie, and added captions like the love of my life, my bride-to-be, etc. like holy shit. He seemed already remorseful of this ploy, but that he was in too deep to stop now. Now, he didn't say as much, but the obvious implication here is that he thought he could get my family back together. But this isn't a fucking sitcom or the birdcage. He's catfishing his very emotionally unstable and religious zealot parents into thinking their faggot outcast son was reconverting. I have no intentions of being in their life ever again, but I'd like to remain in my brother's life, and I don't want this incident to scare him off or sever the small bits of contact we have now. So what do? I will not be contacting my parents, nor will I pretend to be straight. Obviously I need to tell him to close the account and stop talking about me to them, but what else if anything?
Relevant comment. Commenter. He's still in the cult, and is trying to drag you back in. I would not be surprised if your parents put him up to that. I'm sorry, but you have to cut him off if you want to remain safe from them. Report the copycat Instagram and have it taken down.
My_man. Maybe he wants grounds to escape to you. Look bros, all fixed. I can go visit him during summer without being banished. I don't think it was a ploy to drag you back in, because he wasn't trying to convert you, he was trying to deceive them. If this could help him have a sane and safe outlet, that'd be great. He may also really miss you and just wish you could be unbanished. But you obviously should not have to put on an act to go home. Entirely fuck that. But the poor kid is trapped and odd coping mechanisms are to be expected, really. I'm most curious about what his intentions were.
Update. Thank you all for your illuminating comments. I'm honestly overwhelmed at the response and apologize for not replying much, it was so much. But I'd like to specifically thank you /my_man for his comment, which suggested that this was not him trying to rope me back in, but him trying to escape the cult. You were exactly right. Today we talked for the first time since our conversation. He took down the Insta after our conversation, which I hadn't noticed at the time of writing the post, haha, and I gently asked why, exactly, he did this. He's 15, so he didn't quite have the language to say I'm being abused and need to leave the JW. What he said, instead, was that mom and dad are crazy and he's become disillusioned with the cult. He even used the word cult. He still believes in God and wants to explore different sects of Judeo-Christianity. My hometown is a small place in the Midwest, and everyone knows who the JW are. They're, like, Those people. So he couldn't covertly go to another service without someone recognizing him and it getting back to my parents. His motive was pretty much what you/my_man said. He said he wants to visit, hang out, and explore the religions around Chicago, but the only way my parents would allow him to leave town is if they knew exactly where he was, who he was with the whole time, etc. So in his head, propping me up as converted was the only way to make it happen. I told him I was completely uncomfortable with that, and that my relationship with my parents is over. He apologized, and pretty much already knew the logistical problems. I think this was a very maturing ordeal for him. I established myself as a lifeline. I told him that if it ever gets too much, I will pay for his train ticket and he can stay with me for as long as he likes, even moving in for the remainder of high school. And I mean it, I have enough space, and my aunt will help with childcare/extra expenses. He seemed apprehensive, but the thought's out there, and he now seems comfortable enough to vent about the church/my parents/my crazy-ass sister directly. As for my parents, I just told him to cold turkey stop talking about me. If they ask, and this was suggested by Julie, my bride-to-be, he will tell them that I might have refound Christianity but I have no intentions to return to the Watchtower, and that he stopped talking to me. Leaving JW for any reason is grounds for excommunication. And I put my actual Insta on private, in case they go looking. They might think I'm not gay, might now have the sliver of hope that I'll return to them, but that's honestly not my fucking problem. And for the guys who suggested this was a honeypot, no. No 15-year-old can act this well. He's so full of love and kindness, and as fucked up as his plan was, it was at the end of the day because he is panicking in a toxic environment. Thank you all, again. My brother is back in my life, and I now have the means to help him. Thank you, thank you, thank you.